I'll just say a little bit about some of the stuff that I get into because I'm sort of a more recent Ghostbuster. So I would have built my suit in 2016, and then my boyfriend was amazing enough to surprise me with a modified spirit pack that he built with Punished props in 2018, and there's a really cool reaction video of me freaking out on YouTube about that. So I started off, I'm from Ontario, Canada, so I'm kind of friendly with the Ontario Ghostbusters, and then I'm now into some stuff with the BC Ghostbusters. And it's kind of interesting things that people get into because there's one that like wrote a whole fan film. So he asked if I wanted to act in it. So apparently like that's going to be coming out in a few years kind of thing when it's all done. So I'm just like, wow, it's awesome, all the things that you can do. I met Ernie Hudson before, who complimented my suit, which is amazing. And my big thing is I go by WonderLibrarian on all social media. So I'm also a YouTuber. So I've been to New York to see all the Ghostbuster locations there. We just recently did some stuff in LA for the Fan Fest, so we took some things of where the River of Slime was and everything. And then I've also done the Ghostbusters 2016 in Boston. So it's always amazing to step on a set and know that the actors that you love and the film that you love are all done there. So I just get into all kinds of stuff, and I basically live Ghostbusters every day. I just recently got a little Stay Puft marshmallow hat tattoo. And our other big love is Back to the Future, so there's a hoverboard as well too there. And my boyfriend has a DeLorean time machine, so if you have any questions about my fandom, I am a hardcore fan.
Pretty awesome stuff. I'm Ryan May. I love Ghostbusters. I started building props when I was a little kid. My dad is a prop master, so I've been around sets and building stuff at a young age. My proton pack was all vacuum formed, so we went online, got just pictures of the different proton packs to make it screen accurate and make sure like all the decals and all the different components are on there properly. We do a lot of stuff. I do a lot with hospital visits. We have had Ernie Hudson in Eugene for a hospital visit with couple different celebrities a couple years ago. He's coming back at the end of October to give back a little bit, and we'll have an Acto 1 replica from LA in Eugene, so kind of cool, the last Sunday of October. So yeah, we do a bunch of different things though. Yesterday when we got into Portland, we did a hospital visit over at Dornbecker's. So just, you know, spreading cheer and joy to the kids is very important to me. That's why I cosplay. So not only do I do Ghostbusters, I do Captain America and a couple other superheroes. So it's fun stuff. But yeah, thanks for being here, everyone.
Okay, what's on our list? Okay, so one reason that a lot of us have gotten into Ghostbusters is just the versatility and ease of being a Ghostbuster. It's not, I cosplay many other characters as well, and you can be a Ghostbuster and be yourself. Like, this doesn't have anybody's name but mine on it, and I can just be me. It's kind of the way you can still be, like, cosplay and have fun, but you can be yourself, and so there's not like that kind of stress and stuff that just surrounds, like, some cosplays and being in character and different things like that. And I know like a lot of people in our group, like they start doing it, they're like, this is a lot different, which is one reason why I enjoy it a lot, because you can just be yourself. I don't know if anyone else had anything off that.
Oh,
yeah.
You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, that's what's great, like, we don't have to be like, I don't look like Captain America, I'm a Hawaiian, but when I put on that suit, it's fun, you know? But when you do Ghostbusters, it's different. You get a custom patch with your name. I decided to go with an aviation patch from the Seattle Museum of Flight.
Yeah.
And you can really tailor it to your own personal fandom, you know? It's really neat. And that's what makes being a Ghostbuster so unique. As we say, ghost heads, you know? So, great Netflix documentary, by the way.
The other really cool thing about how personal the Ghostbusters uniforms are, I have worn my Ghostbusters flight suit. I have blonde hair, but for today I have another cosplay, so I'm playing it up. I've got red, and I added a red bandana, kind of going with that, you know, just a little pin-up, cross-up. Yeah.
This is her variation.
So I have bungee that's on here, my red to go with my red hair. Eventually I want to do a Barbie Ghostbusters matchup. Just switch, you can get a pink studded belt, pink boots, you know, pink gloves. But you could do a lot of things, just, you know, whatever you want to do. Once you have the flight suit, you can be yourself, or you can be whatever Ghostbuster you want to be.
Yeah, I was gonna add to that too, because that was something that I was kind of searching for, because I've moved around a lot and everything. I wasn't particularly a part of any faction, and because of the love of Back to the Future that my boyfriend and I have, we decided to tentatively call ourselves Ghostbusters of Hill Valley, and then I designed a patch, and I've got some stickers on here too. So just kind of a salute to both of the fandoms, and I do have plans to eventually build maybe like a kind of like a Marty type one, like a mashup that way, and you know, Ghostbuster 2 suit. Like, you just kind of like get all these ideas and everything, and then you want to act on them. Because there's just so many ways you can go with it. And I think that's the great thing about Ghostbusters in general, is that when you're watching it, it's just a few guys that didn't make it at school, and they just kind of branch off and do their own thing, and it's very much an every man, every woman type thing. And then you meet any Ghostbuster chapter from all over the place, and I have been around quite a bit, different traveling places, and everyone's so friendly and welcoming, and you just can have fun and hang out and wear your costumes and spread joy to everyone. So it's really a great thing.
You can really do any kind of mashup. I remember Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo mashup with Ghostbusters back in the day, late 80s, early 90s, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a Scooby-Doo Ghostbuster mashup, you know, at an upcoming convention, or maybe even a hospital visit, just for fun, just because it's something that I enjoy, and it's something you can do that's unique to you. So, and that's what's great about being a Ghostbuster. So, I mean, does anyone have any questions out there?
Wait, Brian, I've got something to...
Oh, yeah.
It's like right here. No.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. So, just to let folks know, being a Ghostbuster is an inexpensive cosplay. Okay? It's not something that you have to break the bank to be a Ghostbuster. Where a lot of people, there's like a gentleman here, for example, his name is Tim. He's in Ant-Man. He's making his own proton pack. Okay, so most folks, like Ryan was talking about, he has a vacuum formed. Tim is creating his own. Brian here is also a prop master, and he's also built with light materials, mind you. It looks heavy, and that's what's really great about what Brian does, is he's able to make something that looks very heavy but light to accommodate what he does in and around events and Comic-Cons. And it blows my mind when I see him come in. I'm going, geez, you're making my back hurt. And then Elijah here, he has himself, if you can turn around, Elijah, he has himself a spirit pack, which you go to Spirit Halloween stores, and that's not too expensive. Sometimes if you have a coupon, you can get it for $65 to maybe $75, and then you add components to it, like a wire wrap, or an ion, they call this an ion stick, but this here is just something that you get from a door hinge, okay? So you can add and modify. What I've done to mine is, and Brian's done this as well, we add music through a Bluetooth, and he's got a motorcycle battery too. But you can add lights, and they have light kits as well. You can get those on eBay or someone in the, what is it, Etsy store?
Etsy,
thank you. And you can get light kits to kind of give it the effect that you want. Kind of personalizes, Ryan Danielle said, and Zanae, is you personalize your Ghostbuster. And that's what makes it a joy to do. And then you just add more components to it, as well as ribbon cable to it as well. So if you don't like what Spirit Halloween has, well, you can also add a ribbon cable to it. Okay, yeah. Can you show your proton pack to the folks?
It's malfunctioning. Better to bed.
So
Andrew actually built his pack. It took him about 9 months.
He built it from the ground up, from scratch. It is a factory foam shell and fiberglass.
Yep.
Looks good.
Henry, can you bring that up and kind of,
This is the wrong time.
My battery pack is actually full scale compared to the spirit packs.
I've already
Spirit
seen
packs
it.
are about 60 to 80%.
Yeah.
So while he's working on getting that up here, talking about smaller size packs, I'm also working on building my own proton pack from the ground up. I'm mostly going to be using Vibra, which is a thermoplastic like Warbler, but I also got these battery powered LED lights. So eventually, when I put these all in here, they're going to be lighting up and I'll be able to turn them on and off. And I have a sink hose that I got from a garage sale. I'll put one on the end. I have one of these that's set to strobe white. Let me see if I can get it to go on here. Screw them in. There we go. It's got red. You can change them to be different things, so it's pretty easy to set what they are. But Vibra is pretty inexpensive, and that way I'm going to have remote controlled battery packs too. It's going to be really light, and I'm going to make mine about half of the size of the full size components because I don't have a large back. I want mine to be the size of maybe a child's. So that's another idea. If you're not making it for an adult, you could make it out of your own materials. And once I finish this, I might be able to put some patterns up for people if they're interested.
Brian, your son Dakota
Yeah.
has a mini Ghostbuster uniform.
So my 2-year-old is actually our youngest member. He has an original 1984 Kenner Ghostbusters pack, and it's the perfect size for like small children. It's inexpensive if you can find them. They are extremely durable, and they look cute on kids.
They sure do.
Anyone have any questions just about, yeah, go ahead and step up to the mic there.
How many ghosts are you keeping in your headquarters, and are we all in terrible danger?
We probably have about 20,000 in our containment unit right now.
So many.
We have
Between all of us?
multiple different containment units on multiple different spectral grids.
There's one behind you.
I've got one that number.
So Brian is also developing a ghost capture mechanism that he's building. So as I call him a prop master as well, because he's able to build all these things. He's a containment unit. Is what you're- So he's building that to contain those ghosts you're talking about.
We also have our flagship vehicle called the Ecto Wolf. It is a 1996 F-150 that has been modified with different parts that to give the appearance of the equipment. And it is seen all around Portland, down in Eugene. It will be at the Ernie Hudson event on the 26th of October.
Saturday.
Be there. Like a monster truck. Be there, be there.
I am slightly comforted. I come from San Jose, where I'm not sure who's operating it, but we definitely have a Ghostbusters vehicle going around to all the cons and parking
Yeah,
lots.
always have
That's awesome.
Answer the call.
Is that going to the Winchester House?
Oh.
I feel
It
like
should.
it
Yeah.
could ever, but I tend to see it at things like this.
Okay.
That would be an interesting mashup.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
Just if it parked outside on Halloween, we're just gonna sit here.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Go ahead, Tim.
I'll go to the mic.
Yeah. That's
Right then. So I have a question. So some of you have black and some of you have khaki. Or at least that's what my daughter tells me since I'm colorblind.
That is
So
correct.
is it appropriate to have either color?
Yes.
Yep.
You can have whatever color you want.
If you got a bright green flight suit, bright orange, or purple, it does not matter with our board.
People would be able to see you really
Oh,
easily.
Heather, come on.
Yeah.
Please.
It can really be anything you want it to be.
Stretch your stuff, girl.
We allow
Whatever colors,
all
whatever
types of
style.
walks of life in our group.
In my case, I had some medical issues and a flight suit would not work very well for me. So I went with more of a two-piece outfit.
And I always tell people I'm the rebel Ghostbuster, I'm the occult specialist, I'm the one that's going to give you the information on what you're facing and the best way to go after it. So of course I have a little bit of more rebel look to me, but we have cases of, you know, junior Ghostbusters out there that have cerebral palsy and they're in a wheelchair and they can't wear a flight suit. They can't use a normal proton pack. So we've actually built a modified proton pack to fit on, do you remember her name?
Cassie.
Cassie. There was a young girl with cerebral palsy. She was wheelchair bound. We actually, Brian and Andrew built a proton pack with the measurements that her parents gave us to fit right onto her wheelchair. And her parents had already modified it, an outfit for her to wear as her Ghostbusters uniform. So you don't have to wear the flight suit. It is the most common look. But obviously if you have limits in a real Ghostbusters family, all are welcome.
Right.
We also have what's called our Class B.
Very well said.
So everybody in the flights that you see right now is technically in a Class A uniform. Andrew right now is actually dressed down to his Class B. Go ahead and stand up, Andrew.
It's basically a T-shirt with our RIP City logo. Yeah.
I'm not getting paid for this.
Use your fight suit there.
So
He's down with his.
He's ready for duty.
our Class B uniforms pretty much
Class
consist
B
of any
uniform.
type of Ghostbusters T-shirt that just identifies with the group. That could be tank tops, could be standard Ghostbuster shirts like Chris and Alan.
Which there are some shirts available that you can get with the RIP City Ghostbusters logo on
Yeah.
them, right?
You go to tpublic.com. You can order RIP City t-shirts of all different colors. I have a black one on. I don't know if people know.
Different cuts,
Yeah,
so
there's like
the
different-
tank tops or t-shirts.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, you know, we have a Facebook page, so you can find out about events if you want to maybe like
You'll
come
find out
out.
about the Ernie Hudson event. We're putting more info on there soon.
Yeah,
Or the
and
trip to Eugene.
Yeah, for sure.
not just that, I was just trying to recruit more members. Like
Yeah,
if
we
you're
want
curious
more
and you want to
members,
go
too.
out and just kind of see what it's like, you know, just come observe, you know. We encourage, you know, people to just kind of come out and watch, and yeah, we can help you get your pieces together, you know, for your suit, you know. So it's open to anyone and everyone.
Boundaries. There are no boundaries.
All walks of life. That's what makes being a Ghostbuster so great. So.
So whether you're visiting from Portland, oh yes,
Yeah.
you want to do
Go
the
ahead, sir.
microphone?
How's it going, fellow Ghostbusters?
Hi,
Hello.
nice to see you.
Nice to you as well. Just got a question for you guys. Obviously, the communities are pretty vast, and there's a lot of, you know, different groups and stuff. I'm kind of a solo here, so I'm just kind of coming in to say hi, visit and whatnot. Do you guys do a lot of collaborations with other groups, or like do you guys?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely, everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I was, still kind of am a little bit in your position, whereas I've moved around a lot, so I never really quite settled on a faction, and certain groups are more active and less active, so I mean, when I got to Vancouver, I just kind of reached out to the local faction and said, hey, I've got a suit, you know, and they were very receptive, and then you end up meeting a lot of people on Facebook is big, so chances are you find a place in your town, and if you're from here, well, here you go, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just kind of here visiting, but
Yeah.
do you guys just like let people who are Ghostbusters come in and just volunteer and help?
Of course.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a worldwide operation.
Where are you from, sir?
Spokane.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like a family. It's like a family franchise. That's what I love about RIP City is it's not inclusive only to just, I mean, if there's somebody like from Vancouver, from Ottawa, from,
Tim, where are you from?
yeah.
Oh, Roseburg, and we have a group in Roseburg.
Yeah. So it's around the state and other communities, you know, where we all share that same
Spread all throughout
vision.
the Northwest.
We also have members in Colorado.
I mean, there's another franchise here, and it's like, I told them today, it's like, it feels like a family. Because, you know, they have events and stuff like that, and I was asking them the same thing about collaborations. And I said, even though I'm from Eugene, would you be willing to come down and visit us, because, we're all part of this. And when you see another person from like yourself, Spokane, and then you meet someone from Atlanta, Georgia, it's almost like you're part of that community. A ghost head, like Ryan said.
Yeah.
And just for instance, yesterday we did a hospital visit. We weren't Ghostbusters. It was a combination of superheroes and Star Wars groups. So literally, three different superhero groups and one Star Wars group all collaborated yesterday at Dornbecker's here in Portland. So I mean, it was pretty cool. So you can Ghostbusters, superheroes. It's fun to intermix the characters and stuff, especially for the kids' charity events, because the kids all light up and enjoy it. So, and we're having fun too, because we're getting to be big kids. So,
That's the best part.
Wicked. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about
Thank
props
you.
a little later.
Cool. Yeah.
Sure, do it.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions so far? Okay, I think we should talk a little more about what we do for the different charity things. We talked about the hospital a little bit, because that's a big part of what we do. Does anyone want to start with that, or?
Sure, yeah. So for hospital visits, depending on the hospital, you have to get permission for certain items to bring in. So a lot of behind the scenes things are contacting like Funko Toys or IMAX or other companies for donations, whether it be toys or posters to hand out to the kids, because we like to be able to hand out something, whether it be like that character handing out the poster or toy to kids in the hospital. But there's a bunch of different things that happen behind the scenes before we even hit the hospital grounds. And so Danielle, what do you guys do in your area for children's charity?
Well, at the moment, because we haven't been in a Ghostbuster group too much, we haven't done that, but we've done a lot of fundraising for our other fandom, Back to the Future, because they raise for Michael J. Fox Foundation. So whenever there's a photo op or anybody coming in, we'll go and volunteer our time to be at the time machine, and people take pictures and whatnot, and then all the money goes to Michael J. Fox. But we're always open to new opportunities and looking forward to doing more like that.
Sinead, Alan, how about you guys? What do you guys feel like that we do in the community outreach?
Well,
Ghostbusters?
additionally, besides hospital visits, you're raising awareness for other charities. What baseball team were you at recently?
We're at the Pickles.
The Pickles. And were we promoting? I wasn't at that event. So,
They just asked us to come.
so yeah.
We're just for promotion.
Just for promotion, but I know if there's charities that are looking to have somebody to come and bring smiles to their event. Sometimes if you're raising money for a cause, it's a serious subject, whatever it might be, it's fun to lighten it up a little bit. And when you have Ghostbusters there, people of all ages recognize it.
That's right.
Yeah. So I remember watching the movies from my older brothers watching it. That's how I'm such a fan. Just by chance. But yeah, so getting charities and contacting them, anybody who wants us, I'm sure we come.
Yeah. Aside from the charity work, we also work with the communities. We do like park cleanups and cemetery cleanups all throughout the year. We also work, with like the schools and do special events with school programs, things like that. And we are the largest franchise in Oregon to date. We are continuously growing, and with that continuously growing, we are allowed to, outreach so much more and bring so much more passion to the community.
The other thing about cosplaying and Ghostbustering and stuff like that is it brings you out of your shell. Say if you've never done anything like this and you go, well, I don't want anybody to laugh at me. I'm not the right type. It does not matter. Ghostbustering is for anyone and everyone. It's just,
Yeah, come on up.
come on down.
I guess I was just curious, in terms of thinking of all the different fandoms and all the things that you could have a group related to, be specifically to you or when they founded it, what about Ghostbusters, whether it be the movie or the characters, what about it drew you to be like, you know what, we're going to cosplay for charity as Ghostbusters?
Well, like for me, it was the being able to, access technology and, just expand my knowledge in building things. I'm very good with my hands. I'm actually on the higher functioning autism spectrum. And being able to work with my hands and build things and just create stuff from nothing allows my mind to actually focus and, give that passion.
I think for me, it started as, we can probably all relate to this too, but I grew up watching real Ghostbusters and watching the movie and everything, and I've loved it my whole life, and so as an adult, I still loved it, and then it's just kind of a passion that grows within you, so then there's just that feeling that you just want to do more with it, and so, building the suit was the one thing, and then you start getting into all the equipment and everything, and then it's a whole new set of skills, and then getting into the group stuff, and then it just, before you know it, you're just into so many different things, and it's just so much fun. It's so great, and being so passionate about the franchise in general, you go in a lot of different directions. So
another thing about choosing Ghostbusters or whatever your passion is, if you are going out and doing charity work, one thing that draws me to being a Ghostbuster when I do charity work, I primarily cosplay Magic the Gathering characters. I don't know how many of you even know what Magic the Gathering is. Okay, one or two, but then a specific card out of literally thousands of art images. So for me, if I wear anything Magic, no kid knows who I am, so we're still doing stuff for them and being there, but it's a lot more rewarding when the people who you're going to bring smiles to or you're making an effort for, like I said, it's recognizable by everyone. So the fact that everybody gets to enjoy it, for me, when one of our recent hospital visits, instead of doing superheroes, Ryan says, let's do Ghostbusters. I was like, yeah, let's do Ghostbusters. And it's really fun, because he's like, yeah, I love Ghostbusters.
It's just fun to mix it up, and you get to be yourself. That's what's cool about it. You get to be yourself, whereas superhero, I'm Captain America.
Yeah, you don't have to pretend to be Steve.
I look nothing like Steve Rogers. So, Ghostbusters is great because you get to be your own individual, and you get to tailor your suit, your props that you're wearing to go along with your own individual suit. That's what makes it so special, and that's why I'm very passionate about it.
If this gives you any kind of idea how you can tailor this, I was down at FanFest representing our franchise. There was a guy, who here knows who Macho Man Randy Savage is? Okay.
Macho Man!
Yeah.
This guy was literally handling it, brother, like dressed to the gills as Macho Man Randy Savage, but in a flight suit. It was legit the most cool thing ever. And yeah, there's literally, the sky is the limit.
While we're on that topic, I just want to point out, because I contacted some ghost girls, because I think it's kind of a unique opportunity to be a girl in the fandom as well. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the ones that have really awesome cosplays. So Candace from Calgary, she's amazing. She does so much fundraising and whatnot. That's her real Ghostbusters Egon. We've got Whitney from Florida, and she's got a Beetlejuice one that she's done. Sorry, it's so small, but I didn't know what size the room was going to be. And then we've got Stay Puft Girl right at the end there, Amber. And there's a few other ones, like there's ones that had a Ghostbuster wedding, and a girl from Scotland who cosplays a Slimer, and a Gozer. So, any example to take it all kinds of ways. There's lots of them.
And what's fun is learning, if you want to just go out and watch a YouTube video, to just start building your props and stuff. It's really neat. Everyone here on this, on the panel will tell you it's neat. It just starts with one little thing, and then it becomes a bigger thing, and then next you're building just bigger props, and it's really fun, and everyone here will tell you.
How many here can access YouTube, can see YouTube? Show of hands. Okay, Ryan mentioned something earlier about a film that was done a couple of years ago, I think 2016, called Ghost Heads.
It's also on Netflix.
Okay, so if you guys can, just in your casual viewing, check that out. It just shows Ghostbuster franchises around the country and in other areas of the world. Yeah, and so that can kind of give you another view of how these folks interact with their communities out there and how it has affected them, and then including what I appreciate about this franchise is the actors, the directors, producers of the original movies, they love what we do. They accept us as what we do, and they just step out of the way and say, you know what, we're here, we support you, and they never look down upon us doing what we do because they see the impact.
Yeah, didn't you had Ernie Hudson?
One of the more touching things happened about a month ago, visiting a cancer patient, and we reached out to Ernie Hudson to get a video for him to say hello to that particular patient. And what does he do? He's coming back from a convention back on the East Coast. He lives in Southern California, goes back, puts on his flight suit, and actually sends a video personalized to that kid. I mean, that was pretty special, and he's just so classy. I mean, that's kind of why I'm passionate to continue doing the hospital visits, and yeah, I enjoyed that part of cosplaying and the whole Ghostbuster fandom, because we are one big family. It doesn't matter if you're from Spokane, Roseburg, Canada, you know, we can all do it and do good in our communities.
That's what's really super nice about Ghostbusters is it doesn't matter if you're a boy, if you're a girl, if you're like what weight you are. It has no, sorry, as I whack the mic. But it really doesn't matter. Like it's so unique, each and everybody's individual Ghostbusters cosplay themselves. I've seen some who actually are cosplaying like Venkman or Egon or something, and that's great too. But it's really nice to just be yourself, but still get dressed up in cosplay, and like you see another Ghostbuster, and even if we've met Ghostbusters here, we don't even know who they are, but it's like you're a constant instant connection. It's just like, oh, we're a family.
Great big network.
On that, we just met in the bathroom right before this, and she's like, oh, are you on the panel? I was like, yeah, are you? And I was like, great, let's walk to the room.
There you go.
Yeah, like the suit, perfect.
There you go.
Ghost Girls Unite.
I'm with her.
To give you guys an idea about how big Ghostbusters Network is, there's over 500 franchises worldwide and 17 million people who are fans of the Ghostbusters franchises.
That's awesome. That's speaking of which, how many here, can you tell me how were introduced to Ghostbusters? How many here with a show of hands were introduced to the Ghostbusters in 1984?
I'm old.
Here we go. Okay, you saw the film originally in that first run theater. So 1984. Okay, how many was introduced to it in 1989? The Ghostbusters.
Real hair, oh yeah.
87, the real Ghostbusters.
Okay, so the cartoon. Okay, how many here found out about the cartoon, the real Ghostbusters? So you guys are awesome to be part of the fandom that many years.
I got the TV movie. It was on TV. It's on NBC at night.
Yeah.
So I just want to say I'm so happy that you guys have been fans from the very beginning, all through the developments of others. And how many here are excited about the 2020 Ghostbuster movie coming out?
It's being filmed in Alberta right now.
Ernie Hudson's in it.
So the word
Lots of, yeah. It's gonna be great.
Does anybody have any other questions? I still have swag to give away. If people have more comments or questions or.
Absolutely. Give the microphone.
Cool.
Yeah, just if you could tell me a little bit more about the Ernie Hudson event.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson will be in Eugene on Saturday, October 26th at the Valley River Inn. We'll have an Ecto-1 replica there, and he'll be doing photo ops and signing autographs. He's there for a charity event, so some of the proceeds will go to the local Children's Miracle Network hospital that services the Eugene Springfield area. So it's about 2 hours south of here in Portland, but yeah, anyway, it should be a fun event. So
That's from 12 to 4.
you can, all the information's on the RIP City Ghostbuster Facebook page. So if you guys follow the Facebook page, more announcements will be in the coming weeks.
You know, it might be the perfect time. That's about a month and a half away from now. It's a little bit of scramble, but if you really have been liking what you've heard and you wanted to go home and start making or ordering a flight suit today, maybe that could be your first event with us, with RIP City Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any questions or want help, let us know. We're happy to reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Several of us up here, run the Facebook page, so if you send us an email that way, we can respond and kind of give you the links for the, where you need to be directed for building your suits or whatever it may be. What was your question, ma'am?
Okay, so I was, introduced to Ghostbusters sometime when I was a kid, when the movies were just playing on TV or whatever. And I'm kind of wondering, do you know what kind of led them to finally making kind of a reboot of the movie? And did any of the franchises across the nation play a part in that, as far as kind of getting the studios to?
I know Dan's been formulating scripts pretty much since the 90s, right before we lost Harold Ramis. But nothing really took. They couldn't get Bill Murray to come on board. But finally, Dan just said, forget it. We're just going to go ahead and proceed with or without Bill. I think they're in talks right now with Bill, but they've got Dan Aykroyd, they've got Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, Annie Potts. I mean, they've got pretty much everybody except for Bill and Rick Moranis.
So I haven't read about the new one. Is it going to be more of the original cast, or are they going to bring back?
It's going to be a
I think they're supposed to be in their original characters, because in the 2016 they were there, but alternate characters.
They're gonna have a bigger presence in this film than they did in 2016.
Sony has been very hush-hush about the new movie.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
So
Which is good.
Doesn't spoil it.
Yeah.
But we think that the Ecto is going to make a reappearance, the original one, or the 1A from part 1 or 2. So there's been it looks kind of beat up and everything. You can find lots of pictures of it online. So that's kind of the one thing that people have caught on to, for sure.
The buzz is getting out there now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you for being here. Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Hey, isn't there a 1984 showing Ghostbusters, the original movie?
Yeah.
October the 6th?
Yes.
Yeah, Fathom
October
Events.
6th and 9th.
Yeah, Fathom Events is gonna show Ghostbusters actually all across the U.S. in different theaters. So yeah, kind of check your local theater.
35th anniversary.
Yeah. October
6th.
6th and 9th.
6th. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh, this is great.
Any
We
other
will be
questions?
marching in the Halloween Town.
Yes.
One more question.
Is that a question for you guys? So, being ghost heads and, balancing your personal lives with fandom and trying to do charity events and participate and just be there for each other and do stuff. How is the balance for you guys? Because I work a lot, so coming to this kind of thing is really difficult for me.
We're busy nonstop.
Yeah.
We haven't had, I think in the last probably 3 months, we've had 1 weekend free. And like my husband said earlier, we have a 2-year-old, so not really free at all.
My 5-year-old's sitting right here in the audience, right up front here. So you learn to just kind of adapt, and it's all just the passion and the adrenaline from one event to the next. And sometimes when work is maybe stressful, you're looking forward to that next event.
Oh, yeah.
Very true.
So
Yeah.
that kind of sums it up for me. So I'll let it, go for it, you guys.
There's not really a time card where you clock in and clock out. If you've got busy lives, you're still a ghost head, and it's never going to change. You're still a fan, and so you're not going to say, "Well, you haven't really participated." No, you're in this community. You're just part of this. So whether life is busy, we don't see you or anybody for months or a year, you're always welcome to see, hey, welcome back, great to see you. Life happens.
So for me, my family owns a business, so that's a lot to manage as well, working a lot. And I don't have kids, but I have 2 dogs, so you can't leave them alone all the time either. So for me, it's really about prioritizing my time, and I aim to do 1 to 2 charity events a month, whether one of those events is with RIP City Ghostbusters, or if it's with superheroes or something else that I'm doing for my own business. I try to make sure that I'm doing something for the community. Hopefully, if there's a Ghostbusters event that lines up with it, then I try to make it work. But yeah, we are all busy, so I think it's just important about making sure not to stress yourself when you're trying to do good for others. Because if you're stressed, you're gonna not have as much fun while you're there. But that way, by just having a kind of set goal, and then when I've done my 1 or 2 things a month, even though it's not as much, I can't do things every weekend, but then you're still feeling rewarded for, and once you have the costume, it's pretty easy just to pull it out, go to the thing, and I've gone to things right after stuff, so.
Very easy cosplay to take on and off.
Our biggest thing is that our families always come first before the events, before, coming to cons. And we all are one big family, even though we're not biologically or marital related. This is family. When you strap on that patch with us, it's all family. We don't care if you come from Eugene, Roseburg, Spokane. If you're part of RIP City and you're part of our team, you're part of our family, and we always will have your back no matter what the situation is. And we're gonna make sure that your family comes first.
And time for one last question. I already saw the 10 minutes and we're up. Just a few, so
Here we go.
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, so this is for the Ghostbuster girl uniform where they have the 2 red lines on them.
Oh,
From the newer movie.
Yeah, from the movie.
Sure.
Can you add that, or would it rather be not on the costume?
You can add
Yeah, you can also do those ones. I think for me, like why I chose to do this one is because I was such a fan of the original, and that was kind of my gateway. So I wanted to honor that. But there's a possibility of building those ones as well. I don't see them as often, but and I think those are more like subject to the characters, I think. But these ones I feel are a little bit more open-ended. But one great thing about the reboot and everything is that I'll share a story about a little girl. I was just giving out candy in my Ghostbusters outfit, and I just saw this little girl wearing the 2016 Ghostbusters outfit, and it was just the sweetest thing. Like, just because it's given girls sort of more that, oh, I can see myself doing this kind of thing. So it's really, it's opened that up quite a bit. So it was amazing.
We do have members that are there. Most of the members that have the 2016 uniform, they actually moved to Colorado, but they still represent our franchise, and they wear a uniform, and it's up. I think they sell them. I've seen them online at different places, and you could probably get your own and attach it to,
Probably
like sew it on.
and have tape.
It's just reflective striping.
In closing, I'll speak for everyone and just say, each and every one of you can be a Ghostbuster. It doesn't matter. All walks of life. Ghostbusters is still welcoming the fandom, and we appreciate you all being here. It's been a lot of fun for myself, and just getting to nerd out for the last 45 minutes with everyone. We got a
Ghostbusters!
Thanks, guys.
We will be marching in St. Helens at the big, what's it called?
Halloween Town.
Halloween Town,
That's
beginning of October. Check RIP City Ghostbusters Facebook page for all the events.
All the events. We're a pretty busy group, so.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of Rose City.
Enjoy.
Yeah.